This has been by far the craziest market that I've ever seen. It's not about thriving right now. A lot of traders are having trouble surviving. I'm going to show you every single trade that I've taken over the last 2 sessions between Asia and New York to show you the exact step-by-step guide on how to survive crazy markets like we're seeing right now. So let's not waste any more time. We're going to jump right over to TradeZella, and I'm going to give you the exact breakdown on the exact opportunities that you might be looking to take for yourself. So as you can see here, the account is very new. We're over on Top One Futures trading the 150K account. Really quickly, just want to share this with you. The 150K, you can get instant funded to 400 bucks. 400 bucks. Very simple. 150K, 6K in drawdown. This is perfect for these kind of conditions. Let me explain why. I'm going to show you a couple trades right now where with one micro, my stop might be like a couple $100. With one micro, I've never in my entire life ever seen markets this volatile. We saw a 10% move in the market. So if you're trading on some of these smaller accounts right here, you might have issue with that 625 or your $1,000 stop loss. You might need closer to 3,000 for the day. I'm not saying you need to risk it all. I'm just saying the volatility might demand that of you, especially if you're on the 15-minute, especially if you're on the 5-minute charts. 1 minute, it was a lot of risk today. So use code DTA, running this the rest of the month. You get 50% off your account. Go ahead, try out an instant funded account. I'm telling you, it's a game changer for serious traders. We're going to show exactly what I did with mine. I have 3 of the 150Ks. You can copy trade them. I did not copy trade, not that much at least. I'm not copy trading right now just because I'm letting the market a little bit settle down a little bit, right? The volatility was a little too much for me. So we can see that Sunday started out a little bit slow, right? Like I started down a little bit. And this is the thing with me. I'm going to show you all of my results. You'll see when I win, when I lose, because nothing is 100% in life, especially in trading. You're going to lose. Just going to let you know that. So you can see I started down a little bit. I adjusted my daily stop. I wasn't really sitting at the $1,000. I might have said like 1,500, maybe 1,800 was more my speed for today or last night rather. But as you can see, I did not get out of control. I saw the idea I liked and I knew the direction that I liked. And I ultimately stayed on sides with that. And you can see maybe there was some losses in the middle. We had this initial loss right here, right? So these two right here. For the account size, for the volatility, it's more than acceptable to see these kind of numbers because obviously I'm trying to make multiples of this. So this trade right here was in a pullback, tried giving it a little more risk, right? Kind of down to here. It's a bit of a loose area. However, what's not loose is the idea. The idea itself was pretty phenomenal, right? So I was looking for basically this level right here to hold, this to validate as some sort of support, get in right here, take it higher, right? I was eventually looking for the gap fill. It never happened, but I did get a majority of this upside move that I will show you in just a moment. Now, none of these trades, I was really risking all kinds of crazy amounts of money. I was simply following my edge. Now, you'll see that traders, oftentimes they get sucked in by the potential to make a lot of money without ever considering the fact that the volatility itself is going to determine how much you can actually risk. Now, having done this for many years now, I know that I have to stay within certain parameters. I can't go full throttle. It's just burned me too many times. So I focus on the high probability plays. This entry, maybe not my favorite. I like the idea though, and I don't think I was necessarily wrong. However, I could have been maybe a little more precise with my entry. So when you see all these sections, when I go into mistakes, that's what I'll mark. I'll note that down. So next trade, real quick, we're going to hammer through these. It's really just, it was the same idea. I added twice essentially and got stopped. So it's the same trade, just 2 entries. I got to go ahead and combine these. From there, I was able to get a nice little win. And you'll see, caught this and then trailed out before it went break even because I saw it start to reverse. The idea was now this was the pullback, take it here, look for the break of structure. Didn't happen. It wasn't until about right here that I really realized what was going on. And then that was pretty easy money, I would say. Go ahead and we see you have that win. Couple paper cuts here. You're going to see this one's a little annoying, right? Like this stuff happens sometimes. I get in right here on this little inversion, stops down near the low, happens, right? But what did I not do? I didn't lose faith because what I saw happen was structure had actually started to develop. Now, this isn't something that I normally like to do. I don't normally like to take scalps here and there, kind of play with the trade. However, I understood that these were not severe trades and they did not reflect my ability or inability to read price. It was simply a byproduct of the volatility as well as the targets that I was aiming for, where an entry like this, that's just a minor issue. It's a minor issue. When I saw it start to hold, I was able to get on sides for this. So 66 points, it's above the norm, but this is unprecedented. I've never seen markets move this volatile. So you'll see $400 loss. Quickly was able to regain majority of that. And this is where it kind of went back and forth a little bit. So I would get in, get trailed a little bit, right? I'd try to position, but ultimately I ended up catching a nice piece towards the end. So as you can see right here, we're at the 305, stop, little partials right here. And then you see I'm starting to get some more traction. This is where my day really started to materialize. So I get in here, I'm in 5 contracts, peel some out pretty early. It was a nice little dip entry, right? So the idea is I'm basically, I'm using VWAP here. I'm using VWAP. So I like really early in the Asia session, it's super important to keep an eye on VWAP. It's going to have an influence on price quite often. So you can see right here, I was watching it, really tight stop, beautiful stuff. Trailed it out here. I believe I added some right here as well. So you'll see 601. I believe this trade's also a part of this. Yeah, you can see I added here, and then I believe I added 344. Maybe one more time. Yeah, so this one just got trailed out at the bottom. Was able to catch another piece of this. So after the 450, you see right here, gave back a little bit on some pullbacks. And this is the last trade I caught. Boom, boom. So piece by piece, nibbled at this, was able to walk away with a whopping $1,000 on the day for my top 1 futures account. Cannot complain there. And then today we can see that, well, we started to stack up some money right here. We got some base hits, took a stop, and at the end of the day with a nice green win. So you see right here, beautiful stuff. I'm going to show you this trade, keep it real short and sweet. I basically waited for this thing to come all the way down here, sniped an entry, took it off to the top. I mean, does it get better than that? This is micro ES, and I'm talking about 61 points. What in the world is going on? Think about that for a second, guys. Micro ES, pull back to like VWAP. Essentially, that's what that was today. Because this is such a massive news move, if you're not paying attention, you need to be watching Twitter. Looking at something like unusual whales is a good option. You'll see often headlines, you'll see when stuff's happening, and you can see Trump tariff all over the news, all over. It's all over. That's the most important thing right now. And what I did was ultimately stayed on side with the move by simply choosing good locations. So what we have here, boom, boom, entry, and then just kind of trailed out at the bottom of these. Maybe I could have got a better top tick exit, but I'm not concerned about perfection. If there's one thing I want you guys to learn from this channel, it's that you can make a living by just taking good trades. You don't need the perfect opportunity. There's opportunity every day. It's your job to be disciplined enough to not think everything's an opportunity. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I was looking at for levels. We can see over here on the Project X platform using top 1 futures, my code DTA in the description. This platform is super simple to use. It's very, very, very easy, user-friendly, trading view charts, the whole 9, you get it. But what are some of the things that I like to do on here? Well, first and foremost, I do like to keep a limited risk, so you can adjust on the risk settings. However, my trades today and last night were all centered around this new week opening gap. If you watched my trade, essentially my trade analysis for the week that I put up yesterday, you'll see that I was looking for a price to be very reactive down on this monthly area right here. You can see monthly order block, have this level right here at 50 or 5,000 on ES. So what are we doing right here? Potentially bidding. What am I doing right here? Buying long-term stocks. What are you doing right here? You're simply looking for best trades of the day. Look for a little piece, catch a piece of that, and then you walk away and you go ahead and you actually will lock out your account. If you're on top 1 futures, you lock your account so you don't accidentally make a mistake. That is a feature that you're able to use. I do it almost every single day, and it doesn't hurt me to do it. It keeps me on the market, keeps me focused on other things that I need to get done. And ultimately, it helps me not give back profits when I'm up on the day. You can see charts are just very crazy right now. This move right here, I've never seen something like this. This is nearly a 10% move in all my days trading stocks. This is like an earnings play, not the index. The index should not be moving like this. So if you're not utilizing bigger accounts, if you're not playing it cautious, you need to really, really, really choose good opportunities to get involved. You can't be trading at any single point in the market because the pullbacks will absolutely decimate you. And you can see just nice internal structure. So this new week opening gap right here in purple, that's pretty much what we've been trading around. So over in the Discord in my premium analysis section, you can see that my upside levels of interest were 18.4, 18.2, and so forth. These are big, big, big levels because I was looking at the previous day structure and I saw that there was a lot of weakness and void and just emptiness right there. So I was willing to look for us to potentially kind of just dip our toe in and then we could kind of continue. However, we saw a massive gap down, which was actually, believe it or not, it's one of the scenarios that we outlined, gap down. So we went with that, and we ultimately were able to still get those same upside targets of interest. What I want to leave you guys with today is if you are having a hard time in these markets, I want you to do two things. Number one, don't focus on trying to predict the next move. And number two, really be patient about getting the best locations. You don't need to know what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30 minutes. You simply just need to execute your edge. And your edge is going to look a little bit different depending on who you are. But ultimately, understand where your flaws are. If you're someone who is willing to take any trade, be patient. If you're someone who's afraid of their own shadow when it comes to trading, give yourself the belief and the trust that you will make the right decision because you're a disciplined trader. So hope you learned something in today's recap. I hope you see that trading isn't all ups. It's not all downs. It could be something in the middle, and it could still be highly profitable at that. So walked away last 2 days, basically up $1,500 between the two. Not bad. So hope you guys learned something. And until next time, take care.